The excitement is certainly in the air for the upcoming Pavlov release candidate version for Pavlov Shack Beta on the Oculus Quest. Yes, my friends, this is the long-awaited update. As many of you know, we thought we were going to get this update last week on May 9th, 2022. However, a series of issues and botches occurred which delayed the release. And the latest information we have, which was posted on Friday, the 20th of May, is that Dave is shooting for getting the release candidate out on Tuesday, which will be May 24th. So that's the latest we have. We wish the Vankrupt team all the luck in the world for fixing the botches and getting everything ready to go, because I know the entire community is beyond excited to take a look at some of the new things that will be coming, hopefully, in the release candidate. So with that being said, let's just spend a couple minutes here and review what we think we're going to see in the release candidate version. We talked about it a lot in episode 5 of the Pavlov podcast, but certainly one of the things that we're looking forward to seeing is the return of Gore to Pavlov Shack. This leaked video here shows some pretty horrific gore, and we hope to see this in the RC. Another highly anticipated feature is scopes on Pavlov Shack. Let's take a look here. As you can see from this leaked QA team footage, boy, the scopes are looking good. And as we talked about in episode 3 of the Pavlov podcast, this is going to be made possible thanks to the engine upgrade that Pavlov has been working on, and that is going to be released along with the RC version. Another hotly anticipated feature is working smokes in Pavlov Shack, and we have a wonderful leak video here from the Pavlov quality assurance team. You can see the smokes are working and good. Personally, I'm really excited about the smokes. I think it's going to bring a whole new dynamic to the gameplay, and will certainly have some folks rethinking their tactics and strategies. So Pavlov Shack, gosh, we're really hoping that the release candidate also features these working smokes. A couple other things that we may see include name tags on the scoreboard like we currently see in PC Pavlov, and also Dave talked on Friday about working with Vivox, who is an audio provider. They provide the audio for Population 1 and several other games. So perhaps this release candidate will have some improved audio for voice communication as well. We've also seen several different leaks from maps that are being worked on and quote-unquote shackified to come to Pavlov Shack. How many of these maps are going to make it into the RC, we simply don't know, but we do know that there's been significant work on Bunker, there's been significant work on a remake of Sand, there's been significant work on a remake of Stalingrad, which maybe we'll call it Shackingrad, and there's also some effort to put industry from PC Pavlov into Pavlov Shack. We also know that there's been work on finger tracking, which is going to allow gestures to come into Pavlov Shack, and as you can see here, I'm sure several folks will have some fun playing with these new gestures. We talked about it on Pavlov Podcast Episode 4, but now we've got some more leaked footage here of the Skorpion, the new SMG that's going to be entering the game, and you can see this sucker. Boy, oh boy, does this look good. So we've been talking about what's potentially going to be in the release candidate. Now let's talk about how to get the release candidate. Step 1, turn on your Oculus, go to the menu, and uninstall Pavlov Shack Beta from your headset. Yes, friends, you do have to uninstall. You can't just upgrade, because remember, we are switching Unreal Engine versions. Step number 2, restart your headset. Step number 3, go to your Oculus app on your phone and type in Pavlov Shack Beta into the search bar. Then scroll all the way down where it says App Lab and click on View App. That's going to allow you to see Pavlov Shack Beta. Once you see Pavlov Shack Beta, click on it, and then I want you to scroll all the way down to where it says version number 1.0. Click on version number 1.0. This is how we're going to change branches from the live public build to the release candidate build. Only do this once the release candidate is out. Click in the upper right hand corner, select RC for release candidate, click on the top left arrow to take you back to the main menu, and then click on Install on Quest. Once the game is installed, go ahead and put your headset on and launch the game, and boom, you are in the release candidate version. All right, so let's keep in mind that Pavlov Shack is a beta version of a game, and now we've got a release candidate, which is a beta. So we're actually testing the beta of a beta, okay? Are there going to be crashes? Are there going to be glitches? Are there going to be things that don't work as expected? Probably 100% yes. That's the whole point of a release candidate, is to get the game out there, to really give it a good exercise, see what works, see what doesn't work. So if you want to be a helpful part of the community, instead of just complaining about things, take some screenshots, take some videos, go to the Pavlov Discord. There's a channel called Shack Bugs, and post in there what you're seeing. Post in there what's not working right. Post in there your images or your links to your videos so the development team can see this and then quash these bugs. One more note I just wanted to bring up. There is not currently a mod kit available. So there's no ability to take 4.21 Pavlov custom maps and bring them up to 4.27, which is what you would need to do to have maps playable on this new release candidate. As we talked about with Junt, this means there's going to be a gap, and the only maps you're going to be able to play initially until the mod kit comes out are the official Pavlov maps. So just giving everybody a heads up on that. I don't want you to be surprised. If you want more information, check out Pavlov Podcast Episode 3, where we talk about this in more detail. So looking ahead, what is the future of Pavlov Shack? Well, we talked about it on Episode 3 of the Pavlov Podcast. Remember, we had Junt, who's the community manager for Vankrupt here, and this is one of the questions we spent a pretty good deal of time on. Just to recap, the goal is to have Pavlov Shack be an official game, officially launched on the Oculus Quest store sometime this year in 2022. Now, to maintain parity with PC, the game is going to cost $24.99. And once the game is officially launched, obviously the App Labs version, the Pavlov Shack Beta version, will go away. So yes, the answer is you will have to purchase Pavlov Shack if you do wish to play it once it is officially released on the Oculus store. Now, Dave has said multiple times that he hopes to be able to run discounts. Some of those terms and conditions are going to be governed by Oculus because once it's on the store, they also have a stake in the product, and obviously there's some profit sharing or some compensation that occurs. So Dave can't just give it away for free, but he'll try to do sales as often as he can, is what he's publicly said. So when will this game be paid? Well, it's a process that won't happen overnight. So let's just look at a couple of the steps that have to happen to give you a better sense of what we're going to see from now until the game is actually an approved paid game. And step one is to get the release candidate out. Pavlov wants to get as much feedback as they can. They might discover a lot of bugs. They might have to fix some bugs. So you might see 1, 2, maybe even 3 release candidates come out with different bug fixes and patches. Once the game is in a playable state that the devs are happy with, then they're going to submit it to Oculus. Yes, you heard me right. Our friends at Oculus have to receive and review and approve every single game that goes onto the official store. So once Oculus receives the game from Vankrupt, they're going to put it through a series of checks. They're going to put it through a series of quality assurance. They're going to make sure that it meets the quote-unquote Oculus standard before it ever can get on the official store. So this might take some time. This might have some revisions that need to be made. Vankrupt might have to do a resubmission. They might have to retool a few things or fix a few things. So there's a lot of unknowns here in this process. How long does it take? What kind of bugs are they going to find? What are they going to need to get fixed? How long is that going to take? Is it going to have to be resubmitted and go through the process again? Or it can just be a simple hotfix that easily goes through the process. These are all things that we just don't know, folks, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Once that Oculus stamp of approval is finally given, that's when the game becomes an officially paid game, and then the App Lab version will cease to exist. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed all this information. I hope it was useful to you. I can't wait for the release candidate to come out, and I can't wait to see you playing on the release candidate version. This is your friend Kool-Aid Man saying thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for many more Pavlov podcasts in the very near future.